All right, welcome to Glenwood-Lynwood Library's first podcast. We don't even have a name yet. We'll come up with that later. I got two special guests. The new artist sensation that's only 17, y'all. The man's name is Brick. What up, Brick?
How you doing?
All right, and we also got a young sensation straight out of Glenwood-Lynwood Library, successfully known. Successfully known. That don't make no sense. But anyway, we got my boy Thomas.
Hello, welcome. Thank you for having me.
All right, y'all. So what I wanted to do today is I wanted to kind of get the young. I didn't know Brick was this young. First of all, I thought he was 21. I was gonna give him 21 or whatever, but 17 years old. So this conversation is gonna be really interesting because I'm not gonna say Thomas's age, but Thomas is a little older, around closer to my age, maybe younger. I don't know, but I'm not going to tell you my age either. Well, I'll tell you my age. I'm 41. But so Thomas is closer to me than he is to Brick. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to kind of ask some questions, get a discussion going about the hip-hop movement now, the Chicago hip-hop movement. And I want to talk about Brick's career and how he sees it. Also, I want to end it with that. So first off, I want to start with the older esteemed legend Thomas. Thomas, we had a conversation about hip hop not too long ago. You were saying that you're not really feeling some of the younger stuff. You into lyrics. What's your take on hip hop today?
Well, that's a good question. I'm more of old school rap because I'm more in the bars. Hearing a person's delivery. Basically what they gotta say, and I have to. Everything changes. It's just like trends or jeans, clothes, whatever, haircuts. Everything changes, and usually things change and come right back. It's like a full circle, meaning that this new rap, what I'm hearing is with a little bit of singing now. It's not so much just rap. There's also a little R&B added into it. So. I had to piggyback off of what you were saying and give the newcomers a chance, which I have. And I must admit, there are a few songs that I really like. Some of these new age rappers, I kind of, and some of the songs I can kind of groove to. So more or less, I don't know. Like I said, I used to be a bars man as far as lyrics, like Biggie and all these old school cats. Even M, he's all right. Jigga, he's okay. I'm not gonna put him up there. It's like if I had to put Jigga and M, if I had to do Most Def or Black Thought from the Roots, I probably go Most Def. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. See, when I'm talking about bars, man, I'm talking about people that can deliver and have a message at the same time. The ones that I have to push or go back to really understand what they just said. I love those type of rappers.
Okay, so Brick, I want your opinion on older rappers. Maybe rappers that inspired you, and now I'm sure this is going to be a lot different because rappers that might inspired me and Thomas might come from the 80s and 90s. Right. Rappers that might inspired you might come from 2005.
Right. That was a big thing. Like when I first started hearing like rap music, I didn't know nothing about Tupac or Biggie or anything. I started off listening to like Lil Wayne, Drake and them. When I was listening to Lil Wayne, it was like this man is he's delivering bars. He's lyrical. Like he was saying. Like a lot of his lyrics was just like metaphors and similes, and that's what I grew up listening to. And I heard Drake trying to follow after Lil Wayne, and I was following after Drake and Lil Wayne, and then Drake singing, Lil Wayne straight rapping. I'm trying to put both of them together. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was. Young Money was a lot of influence on me. And so older rappers, I still listen to Tupac. Now I just started listening to like Biggie and Tupac, like not. Maybe like 2-3 years ago, you know what I'm saying, listening to what they had to say about like the times they were living in. I hear Biggie rapping, I'm like, dang, he's telling a story. I heard Biggie's Ready to Die album. I listened to that whole album straight. I'm listening to This was a Machine Gun. Yeah, the Machine Gun song, whatever. Yeah.
Oh, Machine Gun Funk.
Yeah.
Is that about Biggie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I really was like, you know, every song it was like him telling a story about something, you know, either if it was real or not. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like when he was talking about he was getting set up. Somebody called his phone and said, "Hey Biggie, somebody trying to set you up," and he was like, "All right, don't worry, for I got something for him." You know, that's
Warning. The name of that was Warning.
Yeah, I love that song. So it's like older rappers, they can't influence me, but it's like, you know, I really did. I do like their style, but you know, I know it is different from today's style. Like, you know, even when I am listening to older rappers, and I listen to the young rappers, and I'm like, where's y'all story at? Like, what are y'all talking about?
So you think maybe the newer rappers might be missing the storytelling aspect?
Yes, of course. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got people nowadays just rapping. Like, I'll listen to songs and I'll wait for like the next bar to see what they're saying. Like, how does that connect to your last bar? Like, like Lil Pump, for instance, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang.
Right.
Like my new cocaine. Like, what is that saying? Like, what was the connection between Gucci Gang and the next bar? You know what I'm saying? Like that.
But that beat is fire though.
The beat is
it's okay.
Alright, you know what I'm saying? But it's like it has no storyline. I can't connect to that because one, I'm not Gucci Gang, nor do I have nobody snorting white. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's not me.
Right.
So it's like
you can't really relate to
nobody can really relate to that. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing that a lot of people. That's why Pac has so many followers, and people loved Pac because a lot of people could relate to what Pac was talking about.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Pac talked about the everyday struggle with the law.
Mm-hmm.
Pac talked about that single mama.
Right, Brenda's got a baby because this is stuff you hear to this day. You hear about every day. Right.
So people related to Pac because of what he was speaking of. They could relate to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just he had a story to tell, but Biggie did it, and Biggie basically showed you how he was and what he has become.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in other words, ready to die. I'm out here slanging, doing my thing. You know, I was doing my thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he made the second album, Born, what was it called? Life After Death.
Yeah.
It was Biggie, but it was Biggie. I'm Biggie now. This is who I am. I got money. I'm on my stuff. I'm wearing, Gucci down to the side, whatever.
Right.
That was who he was speaking of. He was speaking of himself now, what I am now. He wasn't going to go, why should I talk about old stuff that I don't do anymore? Mm-hmm. That's what my thing I like about it. And a lot of these rappers out here talking about things that they seeing or they're not in it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You talk about the game, but if you're not in it, you really don't understand it. And shout out to Brick for just giving me a thought. If I was his age and I had to say, you asked me that question as far as what rapper right now influence, you can't go wrong with Weezy. Weezy, as far as dedication, motive, I mean, man, you hardest worker as far as rapper, hands down, I would go with that. Like, I would put Lil Weezy if they had to say, hey, your all-time top 5, Weezy top 5 for me.
He one of the legends.
He one of the legends, and I'm not from that era, but you can't deny what Weezy has done, man, the influence that Weezy has.
So just playing devil's advocate here.
Go ahead.
Because some people would say Weezy took his foot off the gas and started doing BS.
Definitely, he did. Well, it wasn't him. It was Birdman. It was the people who was paying him, and he decided that he wasn't gonna go for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you giving out something like that's like me owning a gas station, and then my boss said, well, no, somebody come in there trying to run my gas station and expect me to give them stuff for free. You can't I'm not gonna give you my product for free if you're not gonna pay me. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
That's
and I want to get into paying the artist a little bit later also.
Mm-hmm.
Also, a criticism of Lil Wayne is that other people have written his stuff. Does that matter to you too?
It don't matter. Honestly, everybody's gonna have a song that's written. If you're in the industry, you can't think about everything. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to need some help. So it's like, Those are good things also, because only good artists can,
You talking about ghostwriters?
I'm talking about, like they say, Gilly the Kid.
Yeah, he won.
he co-wrote some stuff for Lil Wayne when he
Yeah.
changed his style from the wobble they, you know, that little part when Lil Wayne was like 1999, 2000. Then he changed to more lyrical, and then they said Drake or somebody else was helping him pen some stuff.
I mean, man, listen, it don't matter. Everybody pen. If you want to go back old school, let's keep it 100, even with the females. I thought Foxy was one of the coldest women in rap, Foxy Brown.
Jay-Z and Nas
But
was
who
like
wrote most of her stuff? Jigga.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Fair.
But anybody can write it down, but it's all about how that person
Perform.
deliver it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Dr. Dre's a big
Kiss
fan.
done wrote. Do you know how much Jada Kiss done wrote for you? Just don't know.
Right.
Kiss done wrote a lot for people.
Right.
Jada Kiss, another one.
That's-
'Cause you know what I mean? But everybody writes something, but it's all about a person delivery.
Right.
I can give you some code. It's just like a comic. Kevin Hart, not to go off of rap, but just for a minute, if we talk about comedy, these big hits, Kevin Hart and all of them, they not writing their stuff.
Right.
It's somebody else writing to them. But hey, if Kevin don't deliver it right, it's not gonna work.
And see, I'm really surprised that he would say that, you know, because this is what, you know, like a lot of older
Yeah.
people that I talk to would, you know, say, no, you got to write your stuff, you know, because there are.
You need help,
Right.
man.
It's the
Okay,
same.
yeah,
It's
no.
only one of you, right?
It's the same thing, and
Right.
you gotta get paid somehow.
Yeah.
Also, because the music not just gonna do it. Like your streamings and everything, because music has gone down. You know,
Yeah.
pay for music's gone down. You gotta get your money some way. So writing a song for somebody else, Drake has written plenty of songs for Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
You know, Rita Ora, all them people, because it's like you gotta get paid. So it's like if I gotta write a song to get paid, I'm gonna write a song to get paid. Same thing with beats. People don't make their own beats, so you gonna down them for that? No,
Right,
you
right.
can't do that. The artist can't do everything. An artist is that's why they have a performer, and then there's a difference between the performer and the writer, because it's like you can either perform or you can write. But you know, if you could do both, then you're good. You know what I'm saying? But it's something that you can't do by
Why do you
yourself.
think Kel's still relevant?
R.
Why
Kelly-
do you think R. Kelly's still relevant?
Well, let me ask you this. This doesn't pertain to him, just more than
Okay.
to you. If you found out Rakim and Nas all had, and Biggie, Jay-Z all had ghostwriters, would you look at them the same?
It all depends what you mean. Like
I'm talking about like the whole song was written for them.
It all depends. Like
what
if they got
song?
okay, give an example. Biggie on Life After Death had about 22, 23 songs, man, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how many out of them songs you saying if he had?
5.
Bro.
No,
No, you okay with it?
I'm okay.
What if it was
Because
your favorite song?
it's not about a favorite. That's the thing with the old rappers. It's not a
Mm-hmm.
favorite. It's one that you might groove to a little more, but it's not a favorite because each song, they coming with it.
Okay.
Okay, so if he got 5 songs that somebody else wrote, okay, but the other 19, he's still coming and giving me bars and this and that. I'm like, man, I don't care about those 5 that somebody else wrote because I know he could do it if he
Okay.
really wanted
If
to.
he really
If he
wanted
got
to.
5 songs somebody else wrote, but 19 that he done and they fire, he could have did the other 5.
Right.
It's about, man, listen, man, look, everybody was trying to get a piece of the pie.
Right.
Okay, everybody, you got to have a strong team behind you too. It's all about a team, man, too. You're going to have people that write for each other or do this and do that, but they don't let that get out. It's not a big thing. They don't want, some people don't want the credit. They may say, man, you know what, I got a rhyme, but you sound bad. I may have something that I know cold, but I'm going to give it to Brick because I know Brick know how to bring it and deliver it.
Right.
I won't be able to do what Brick do. So, man, hey, Brick, this on GP. Hey, man, here, tell you, what you think of that? And I get a kick out of hearing what I don't wrote, but I know he going to deliver it right. It's not about, hey, you know I wrote for you, man, so give me credit too. They don't do that in the game, man.
Right.
No.
That's why you don't know about. a
That's
lot
why
of
you
those
don't know
rappers.
about a
Right,
lot
right.
of stuff because that a person may not deliver like that person would.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Brick, question. So you in the music business now. Creating music. Do you try to follow a trend, or do you try to set your own trend? And like, how do you go about creating your music? Do you?
Well, the whole thing with writing music and listening to music is kind of like you have to go with what's in now.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, it's like you kind of like, what are you doing?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can't make I can't make an old school Tupac song now. I mean, maybe it gets to the old hits, but it's not gonna get me rich and famous.
Right.
No.
Trust me, it's not. It might get me reposted on Facebook a couple times. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But it's not gonna get me famous. You have to go with what's in right now, what people are listening to, what they like, what's being said. Now, me, personally, I'm not about to be on the mic talking about I got gold chains. I'm out here killing people because that's not what I do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm always say what's true to me. Like my newest songs. You know what I'm saying? I did that before, but now it's like my newest songs is gonna be honest. You know, it's about what I'm doing now, who's around me. You know, those are the type of things that you gotta listen to. Because then again, if it's heartfelt, it's gonna be much better, and people can tell when it's heartfelt. They can hear it in your voice. They can tell. You know what I'm saying?
And they can relate to you more.
Exactly.
Because if you're talking the same thing, I didn't mean to cut you, Brick. You're talking about the same thing that next man, I got gold chains, I got foreign whips. How many times has everybody heard I got foreign whips?
Right, I heard that.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's not a song that you don't hear it.
Right.
So it's like, that's what I was telling you, man. That was the whole thing. And I just, like I said, you have to be who you are, but keep it 100. People respect you more when you 100.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
can't go wrong with that.
So-
Is there a template of a if you had to choose an artist that you look up to now and say I like the way they did it? Is there any artist that you look at like they're doing it the right way? They're 100% them. They're going about their business the right way. Is there anybody you can look at?
Who I can look at, who's doing it the right way. I mean, I don't really know everybody's life,
Right.
but I can
But
say
from the outside,
just,
looking in,
just,
you just-
I could say, you know, P&B Rock is doing it right.
Okay.
I can say because you know when P&B Rock dropped "Selfish," that was honest. You know, he said he did it in the studio. The girl was right there when he did it, and he just went in the studio and go ahead, did I'm selfish, all that. I felt that because it's like, you was honest right there. Then I heard some of his old songs, and I was like, what are you talking about? This is not the image I get from you. I don't believe you did any of this stuff.
Right.
But then he started making new songs that was more like Selfish because Selfish put him on. So I was like, well, that's the right way to go, because if you got put on doing what you did in that one song, you need to keep doing songs like you did. You know what I'm saying? And if you can fit in some old stuff, try to fit it in a little bit, but don't go too far with it. You know what I'm saying? So he's doing the right thing. He's came out with Beast Mode. You know, he's kind of talking about some old stuff, but it's cool because he kind of, you know, he's still flowing like he did in Selfish, and it's cool. And I like how P&B Rock does it. You know what I'm saying? He timed everything right. Dropped a single, pushed Selfish, dropped the album. He did it right. He had the album out for a minute, had a couple hits out there. Dropped it. He started doing features with A Boogie and everybody else around him. And then, you know, he dropped another album. So he was doing, I look up to P&B Rock because he's actually doing it, you know, the way that, you know, any artist should do it. You know, be 100 with yourself. Find yourself. That's what he had to do. Find yourself. And that's what I'm doing too, finding myself.
17 years old and be wise beyond his years already. Thomason, do you see any other younger artists that you might look at from a distance and like, they doing it right? I like how they doing it.
Well, that's a good question. Yeah, that question. No, I don't, because I don't follow, you know, them tightly like I did with the old school.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm older now. I'm 40. I'm 42. So, I mean, right now what we have in front of us, young man right here, Brick, 17. Educated, has a plan, knows what he wants to do. I look at that right there. I look at Brick. I use him as an example of, and I'm not just trying to say that because he's here, but it's not too many young men, I ain't gonna call him no kid, young men that don't have a plan at his age and know what they want to do. Most of the kids his age either living the LeBron dreams, you know, which is fine. You can want to be in the NBA or really don't have a clue of what it is they want to be for the future. He already has his plan of plan A and plan B as far as the music. If the music don't work, okay, I'm going to do this, and I can always go back to music, ain't going nowhere, and do this. Not too many kids, not too many young men have that ambition about them.
Right.
So as far as the young, I use Brick. That's the only one because I don't follow any other, like I said, I grew to a few songs or whatever, but I don't.
We got bills to pay. We got kids, and it's different now. We ain't in the clubs no more.
Well, I got two boys. You know, my son's 21 and 19, so they keep me. You know, they put me on the Tory people like the Tory Lanez and you know, the Deshaun, the Hardaways, and all that. So I'm in tune, you know. But like I said, no, I don't. I look at Brick as the future, man.
And that's a good segue into the last portion of the podcast. I want to talk about Brick's career. Do you how you doing it with your career in terms? Do you have an album out, or do you just putting out songs and just trying them out to the public? How's that working?
Well, right now I have an album out, but the album didn't do as well as I wanted it to do.
Okay.
So what I ended up doing was I just started dropping a couple singles, and and those singles didn't do as well as I thought they would do either. Mm-hmm. So what I did was I was like, all right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just take down the singles. I'm gonna keep the album up, you know, because I'm not just gonna take it away like nothing ever happened. And then I wrote this song for my girlfriend Crush, and I dropped it. And that kind of like, it's not doing what I want, but it took off farther than any other song that I've ever done in my career. So this is just the starting point. You know what I'm saying? It gave me like, I received the seed. Now it's time to, plant it and like keep watering it and stuff. So that's what I'm doing with Crush now.
Okay, and if you don't mind, I would like to play Crush at the end of this podcast, going out, just so people can hear it. Right. So you have Crush right now. In terms of music, do you have is there a 5-year plan? Maybe do you have like a plan like, well, I'm on my publishing here, I'm going to start a label, or do you just want to be an artist and just work from that standpoint first?
What I'm doing right now, everything I'm doing right now, I'm just I started my own clothes label. I started that like last week. I started my own clothes. Thank you. I started clothing line. I make my own designs now. Put them on shirts, and then I go ahead and put it out there for people to buy it if they want to. Pretty much right now it's just like promote. Just make sure that I'm gonna just keep pushing it to people who who want to listen. Right. I don't care who it is. I don't care, moms, dads. I'm telling everybody. Until I plan to be put on like this summer maybe, so then I can start making like an income. Even if it's like $100 every month, that's fine. It's coming off the music. By like college, put the whole campus on. Campus gets to booming. That'd be great. Probably like next year, have famous people looking at me, features and all of that, even lower artists who aren't really too big in the game but still in the game, you know what I'm saying, people who want to come to me for things like that. I don't plan on signing no label or anything, but I definitely want to get work my way up in the ranks, try to get features with bigger artists, P&B Rock, A Boogie, eventually Chris Brown, Kodak Black, young people like that, because I realize that a lot of the people in the music industry are not really older than me. Like they probably older than me by like 2, 3, 5 years. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I plan on doing. Like nothing major.
Yeah. It seems like music is going really fast. Like, people are coming out with albums like every week. Yeah. And does that put pressure on you to create? And if it does or it doesn't, I don't know, does that come with like writer's block? Like, do you feel pressure, or do you just write when you're ready?
Not at all. Like, this is what my thing is. I hear one thing last week, I'm gonna write it until it's done, and then I'm gonna drop it even if the new thing is out. You know what I'm saying? Because like I still want people to hear what I'm putting out from last week. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember dropping my song. I remember dropping it. They was like, everybody was telling me, don't drop it, because Quavo's coming out with an album, Lil Durk coming out with an album. It was Durk and T Grizzly album coming out at the same time. Then I forgot who else album came out, but it was a whole bunch of people that weekend coming out with an album, and I'm like, I don't care. Right. Okay. If they want to listen to his album first, go ahead. I'm gonna take my time. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm not big, but it's like it take 3 minutes to listen to my song. They not gonna be too busy to not listen to my song. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm not worried about any other artists, any big artists, trying to cover up my song. Because if if it's gonna be heard, it's gonna be heard. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is.
Okay.
So it's,
I got two more questions. And if you have any questions for Brick, definitely ask Thomas. So now we're dealing with the World Wide Web, and so like for example, one of my favorite artists in the world is from New Zealand, and I found him on SoundCloud, and just like I love this dude. Like, so back in the day, back when me and Thomas was coming up, you would try to get out of Chicago first, you know, and maybe spread around your neighborhood, then going to get some college radio, then hopefully pop big local radio, then the nation gets you. Now it seems like people are just finding SoundCloud rappers, or I'm sorry, I shouldn't call them finding rappers on SoundCloud, and you know, like they're getting out to the world, you know, getting bags from just performing these songs. Do you have a plan to like get out to expose yourself outside of Illinois, because, or are you going about it the old school way? Because one more thing, one of my friends, a couple of my friends who rap, I find that they messed up by they're rest on their laurels on that one project for like 2 or 3 years, and I don't think the game is there anymore. I feel like if you got something to say, you better say it, and say it now, because everything is so speedy. So with the World Wide Web question, does that affect how you write? Cause knowing that someone in London might be listening to you and feeling it?
No, it's like I do what I like. I make music that I'ma listen to, that I like. You know what I'm saying? I make music. I don't make music for nobody. You know what I'm saying? I make it how I want to hear it, how I'ma like it. You know what I'm saying? Because if I was listening to anybody else, I'd be like, well, this don't sound like me. Okay. Like, this ain't me. So it's only for me. But you know, it's not really different from you know how they did, be in the city, get the locals first, then get outside to the different states. It's not really different, because that's what I'm doing pretty much now. I'm trying to get but I'm doing it like high school. It's like I get my whole Bloom High School. Everybody in Marian Catholic, they like me. They everybody cool. Mess with me in Marian Catholic. So it's like I'm trying to get people at HF to get on me now. Trying to get people at Hillcrest to mess with me.
That's how you
now.
do it.
Then you start expanding. Now I'm talking to people outside, and one guy in France, he hit me up. He said, "Hey, I like your song." I sent him my song. He said, "I like your song. I want you to be on my new mixtape coming out in France." I'm like, okay, well, that's cool. I get some people out in France to like me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm moving slowly outside. Yeah. And it's gonna take some time, but it's not too different from what they did back then. Now, yeah, it's easier, of course. You got the media now. Right. You could get farther, and then people outside the nation. But it's like it's still a process. It's still the same process, just a different platform.
And that's what I like about what Brick is talking about. See, he's willing to do the marathon, as opposed to a lot of people want to do the sprint, the 400-yard dash, and think that's okay. I'm done. Right. It's not like that. You got to do the marathon, man. You gotta be willing to put in and run the marathon. Yeah. It's gonna take time, regardless. But the whole thing with the marathon, there is an end of the race at the marathon too. But you want to be standing up, running through at the end. You don't want to have stopped off somewhere before you even got to the end and you didn't finish the race. A lot of people don't finish the race.
Right. That's wisdom right there. That's older wisdom. You saw the younger wisdom.
That's real. Yeah. That's real, man. A lot of people don't want to run the marathon. They won't even finish the race.
Right. They'll quit. They'll quit and say
catch a hamstring. And they quit.
I'm giving you an example of endurance.
I'm supposed to, man. What am I? Why I'm not put on already, man? I should be famous and quit. I've thought that before. I've been sitting up at night just looking up at my wall saying, I think I should be famous already. Like, why am I not? Am I not good enough? Should I just quit? Like, I've thought about quitting too many times, but it's like
quitting too easy.
It is. You got to keep pushing, and those who gonna be strong gonna make it. That's what it is. You gotta be the rock in the sand, because it's like you cannot give up. You know what I'm saying? You can't just move easily, and that's what it is.
And this is a segue to my last question. So there's a lot of 17-year-olds thinking that they can rap like Brick, thinking they can create wannabe artists. You have any advice to those like you that's coming up?
My thing is, I started when I was younger, and I tell you this, it takes time. Like it's like you can't just say